All right, guys, how's it going today? It's been a minute since we did one of these market updates, so let's just dive right in. Let's start with the SPX real quick. Okay, so today we had a little bit of a gap down and bounced from 43.15 and closed at 43.73, right? So, we basically been trending down this whole time since the beginning of the year, January 4th. That was the high that we put in. 48.18 was the high, and we've been just making lower highs and lower highs and lower highs. We finally put in a little bit of divergence here too. All right, so let's pull up the RSI here. So we put in a lower low on SPX, and then you see down at the bottom, RSI down here put in a higher low, right? So that was a pretty bullish sign for us, and we went long on that signal, right? And basically, we were looking for, and still are, at least this trend line to be tagged. So that might be, just above 4,400. We came pretty darn close on Friday, hit 43.85, and today hit 43.88. So just a slightly higher high today, right? But what the bulls really want to see is a definitive close, not just above this trend line, but also above this 200 period moving average here, okay? Let's get rid of this RSI. And really, bulls aren't out of the woods until we break above this here. That's 44.89, right? So that would be a higher high than here, right? So we've made a low, a lower high, a lower low, and now we're coming up here, right? So until we break this previous low that we made, not going to feel really good moving forward for the bulls, right? Let's take a look. I prefer to look at the futures here. So a little bit of a different view here. So we broke that really steep trend line here. So similar picture here, looking for a break of this trend line here and this 200 period moving average, which again puts us at about 44.84, okay? So we came up on Friday, tested this 43.80, there you go. There we go. No more interruptions. Okay. So came up 43.80, closed, and then we had that big gap down Sunday night. And then we sold off all the way down to 42.51, and then that got bought up early in the morning. Actually, let's zoom in here because this was kind of all over the place. So we had that big gap down here, as you can see, right? And then it ran up to 43.14 and then sold off again to almost test the lows. And then it kind of based there for a little bit and then just kept creeping up all morning and hit a high of about 43.40, 43.42, right? Had a very small pullback from there down to 43.07 and then ramped up right in the morning, okay, into 11:30, hit 43.85, and then started to have a big pullback and went down to 43.12, okay, and then looked like maybe it was going to break down and maybe go test at least 4,300, possibly lower, and then towards the end of the day, we just got this big pop, right, from 43.39 to 43.72, and it traded right back up to that 43.80 level. So what the bulls really want to see here is just kind of consolidating sideways and then breaking above that 43.80 level, right? So if we break that 43.80 level, the next level up that I'm looking for is this 44.20 to 44.40 area, right? So somewhere up in here, if this area can break, okay? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm leaning a little bit more towards on the bullish side here. What the bulls don't want to see is basically a break back below this hourly candle here. So we don't want to see it back below 43.19. Definitely don't want to see it retest 4,300. But it can come down and test 4,300 and still technically be bullish, right? But once we break below 4,300, then we're dealing with something else here. Okay, Nasdaq, right? So this one has been a crazy mover, basically for the last few months. Okay, we have yet to get anywhere close to these old highs. 16,700 area was the previous high, and we've just been trading down just like ES since then, back in this bearish channel here. Okay, now same thing with ES. We had RSI making a higher low while price was making a lower low, right? So again, that was a bullish sign for us, and we took that here, right? And this is also the bottom of this channel too. And it looked like it was going to break down below the channel, but we still got that big pop out of there. So, very, very bullish action to me. A lot of follow through on this hammer, right? Even with that big gap down Sunday night, NQ hit 13,683 and bounced back above 13,900, which was the level I was looking for it to not break below. And I was really starting to think, this is pretty bearish, but once it reclaimed that, it's back to being bullish again, right? Just goes to show you how quickly things can change on a dime in this market. So basically what I'm looking for is at least a test of 14,400. Okay, then next level up is 14,700 to 14,800 area up here. Okay, and then that would break this lower high here, and would also break out of this bearish channel if that were the case. So until the bulls can do that, we should be really cautious with going long, because this market has just been all over the place, very erratic, very news driven, just total whipsaw up and down, frustrating both the bulls and both the bulls and the bears. Okay. Now the other thing in relation to tech that I want to point out is look at the TNX. Breaking this trend line here, right? Big bearish candle here. I mean, big gap down, down 7.36% on the day. So this should bode well for tech, I would say. I think this is going to come down to test this 1.7 area down here. And if we get that, I think NQ does come back up to those higher levels that I just talked about. Triple Q, kind of similar situation here. The level I'm watching here is 352. If we can break above 352 and then break above this 357, I think we definitely come up to test this 368 to 369 area. So keep that on your radar. As far as what the bulls don't want to see, you don't want to see a break below this 345 area in here, okay? 340 area in here. So you don't want to see a break below 340. 337 definitely. Do not want to break below 337. Okay. A lot of the big names looked okay today. Tesla was ultra hot today, so that definitely helped the market get pushed up today. 4.81% up day on Thursday, kind of a doji on Friday, and then we broke above that 819 level, and that pushed us right up above the 200 period moving average, and we had a 7.48% up day on Tesla. So I think this is going to test at least 900 this week, and we saw a lot of calls coming in. A lot of call flow coming in the 915 strikes, I believe. I think we even saw 1,000 strike calls being bought. So it's looking pretty hot right now. Shop, keep that one on your radar as well. Looking for at least 727 area to be tested, and then if that clears, looking at this gap fill up here, okay? I am looking for a gap fill if we can get above this 727 area, okay? Square, that was another one. Just absolutely massive move. Massive move. Let's see. How big was that? So we came 59% move up in 3 days out of this low at 82. That was a big time buy for me at the 82 level. Let's see. This goes way back to this breakout area here, right? So Square came up, so actually broke out of that level, went below, came up, rejected there, came up, rejected there, came up, rejected there, came up, rejected there, and then that was the high right before the COVID crash, and then busted out of there and just went on a huge run from there. And obviously it got a little overheated and needed to kind of shake off some of that froth. Let's take a look at, what else do I want to look at? Let's take a look at the Russell. Okay. Alrighty. So the Russell, I mentioned this in a video last week, that the Russell was looking the most bullish to me, and it's still looking pretty good to me. I mean, because the reason I said that is because we broke out of this bearish channel already, and we were making higher lows and higher highs, right? And then we kind of broke that pattern here, and we kind of broke this trend line right here. Got back into the bearish channel, and then on Thursday exploded out of there. Friday closed above this 2032 level, and right now we're just kind of staying below this trend line that it broke down from. But I think the Russell is looking good for another test of 2100, whether that be this week or next week. I'm not quite sure. Again, I don't want to see the Russell break back below. I definitely don't want to see it go back below 2032, but especially 1971. Okay, the Dow. Let's look at the Dow. Okay. So, you know, all these are pretty similar in structure, right? Thursday we had that big move up, 2.5% move up. Kind of an inside day on Friday. Did not get that follow through like the NASDAQ and ES did. And then today, kind of the same thing, right? I mean, we're still inside of this big bullish candle here. This was Thursday. This is Friday. Yeah, so today we had the inside candle, and then right now we've got another inside candle. So have not broken above this yet, but definitely keeping an eye on that. If we break above 34, I'm looking for a test of 34,500. Okay, so keep that one on your radar. And then same thing, the bulls do not want to see 33,300 get lost on here. Let's see. Bonds. Yeah, bonds had a nice big gap up after TNX fell off a cliff. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. So, and I know I mentioned this in the last video too, that the bond market could see a bounce from this area, and we perfectly got that. And I said we could run up to this 140 area, and that's pretty much almost where we're at right now. Again, I don't really trade bonds all that much, but if you are, and you took the long here, like I had said, I would start trimming out up here. Okay, and then let's take a look at the transports real quick. Okay, so Thursday, same thing, big bullish engulfing candle here. Friday, a lot of follow through here, and then today we came up, made another high, and then came up and tested this 200 period moving average, right? So if we can get above that, things are going to start looking very bullish across the board to me, right? I want to see full participation across the board on everything. That's transports, which I keep an eye on, IWM, all of that. So, but that's all I have for you guys for today. Yeah, have a good day.